Steve and I were walking around the building trying to see if we could pick it up again, and I felt a burning on my side.
Just check me.
Pull my throat down.
Is there something on me? Is there a spider or something biting me?
Dude, I'm getting light. Yes, you have scratches going from here to here.
I'm very sorry about what happened to you. Very sad what happened. You had your whole life ahead of you.
The paranormal is something we should not mess around with, and you'll find out exactly why in today's video. From a haunted doll that got revenge on its owner, to ghosts that have left people badly injured. Let's talk about these and more only on today's Top 10 list. Starting off this countdown, we have the ghost named Jason. Between 1908 to 1911, the New York State Education Building was constructed. But apparently, it's haunted by a ghost named Jason, a man who died while constructing this building. So according to the story, Jason was working in the basement when he accidentally fell into a spot where concrete was being poured. Instead of his fellow workers helping him, his supervisor instructed them to keep pouring. His body was trapped in the cement, and his ghost still haunts the building. Workers of the building on a number of times have been pushed by a cold hand in the basement area, where Jason passed away. Others have felt like they were being choked by a cold hand. Needless to say, Jason is not happy about his death and makes sure all the workers know that. In our 9th spot, we have the Haunted Gravesite. And if you guys are liking this video so far, then make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Please do it for me. Thank you. For the story, let's make our way over to Tokyo. So back in 940 AD, there was a man named Tera no Masakado. He was a very wealthy samurai, but on March 25th, he was beheaded. Now he haunts his gravesite and anyone that disturbs him. So first off, when he was decapitated, apparently his head resisted decay for 3 months. In fact, his eyes would just roll around in their socket. So there's that creepy fact. But then in 1923, after Tokyo was struck by the Kanto earthquake, the government moved his monument. And he was not happy at all about that. To make things worse, the Minister of Finance started to build a new building in that spot. But within days, he was hospitalized by a strange illness. He died after 3 months in the hospital. Not only that, 14 people from the construction company also died. It's thought that they were all visited and cursed by Masakado, and all because they disturbed his burial spot. In our 8th spot, we have the Ouija board. I have told you 1,000 times, never mess with a Ouija board. And here's another story to show you just how dangerous they are. Alright, so this story was posted on Reddit by the user Celluloid Addiction. The story takes place in October of 2004 when he was in high school. Since it was close to Halloween, his friends and him decided to mess around with a Ouija board. They were using it outside and nothing spooky was really happening. They were just making jokes the whole time and doing the whole like, I swear I'm not moving it, but they actually were. So they were just fooling around. After they had enough of that, they headed home for the night. That night though, one of the friends was greeted by a ghost. He was having trouble sleeping when all of a sudden he felt this heaviness surround him and his vision went blurry. That's when he saw a bloody, charred face with bright red eyes grinning at him through the window. That same night, the Reddit user had a near-death experience. He was driving home when he got into a car accident. His entire car was smashed. So like I said, don't play with Ouija boards. Moving on to number 7, we have Robert the Doll. Honestly, this one shouldn't surprise you. This doll is locked up for a reason. Those that disturb him most likely will suffer his wrath. The doll was given to a boy named Robert Eugene Otto in 1906. Shortly after he got Robert, bad things would happen around their house, like furniture and glasses would break. Eventually, the family moved to France, leaving Robert in a box in the attic, nailed shut. Years later, his owner returned home and found Robert still there. In 1974, he was found dead in the attic. Robert was on top of him, his hands around his neck. Now, it's believed that Robert is possessed by some evil entity. It's now in Key West in the Fort East Martello Museum. A big sign guards the box saying, "Do not photograph the doll." Basically, if you do take a picture of him without asking for permission, he'll make you suffer. He is believed to have caused car accidents, broken bones, injuries, and illnesses. So it's just best if we all stay as far away from him as possible. In our 6th spot, we have the sleep paralysis demon. Sleep paralysis is so terrifying. It's only happened to me once, and I hope it never happens again. Well, in this story, a man named John had a very creepy encounter during sleep paralysis. So he woke up in the middle of the night not being able to move his body at all. He felt like something was sitting on his chest. He tried to scream, but nothing came out of his mouth. Then all of a sudden, he felt like he was being choked. It felt as if someone was grabbing his throat. As this was happening, he glanced over to his door and he saw a dark figure standing there. The dark figure had his hand raised, like the Darth Vader grip thing. Thankfully, his roommate heard him gasping for air and ran into the room. In the morning, he found that his neck was covered in bruises. In particular, it looked like a handprint. So he's convinced that he was genuinely choked out by a real demon. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the devil. This next man met the devil himself, or so he believes he did. So this story takes place in 1942 Mexico. The man was 20 years old at the time. During one summer, the man and his family went to go check out the circus. At one point, he ran into a stranger that claimed he was the greatest illusionist in the world. He said he had a trick that would terrify him. He said he originally auditioned to be part of the circus, but the owner had rejected him, claiming him to be the devil. At this point, the man was intrigued, so he asked to see the trick. That's when he held up his right hand and put a white glove on it. The stranger started chanting some strange words in another language. Then he grabbed the tip of the white glove and whipped it off. His skin had been removed from his right hand completely. All there was left was bone. But that's not all. The stranger then grabbed a wooden plank with long nails pointing up. He jumped off some steps and landed right on top of the nails. The nails went right through his foot and blood started pouring out. That's when the man knew something wasn't right. This man was some sort of evil demon, or literally the devil himself. In our 4th spot, we have the boy in the red parka. This story was actually featured on the show Paranormal Survivor, and fun fact, I am in that episode, so go check it out. See me act. Anyways, basically several years ago, the Houston family moved into a new home. However, as soon as they did, paranormal things began to happen. One night, Nancy Houston woke up in the middle of the night and saw a strange entity staring at her from her closet. That's not all. The mother would often see figures in the backyard, and Chris Houston was haunted by a young boy in a red parka. One time, while trying to fight off this demon boy, it left him with a giant scratch mark up his arm. Eventually, the haunting got so bad that the 3 of them had to pack up and move out of their house. In our 3rd spot, we have the deep sleep. So this next individual used to live on the top floor of a house with her family. Only thing is, the floor was haunted by ghosts. At night, they would hear ghostly whispers and footsteps. They would wake up and find their furniture had been moved. Well, one night she went to bed and woke up to the sound of someone pacing back and forth at the end of her bed. She threw the covers over her head and tried to go to sleep. The next morning, though, her mom couldn't wake her up. She sat down beside her and tried to lift her up and shake her awake, but she was unresponsive. She didn't wake up for hours. When the family finally decided to call an ambulance, she woke right up. She said that it was the ghosts doing. After that incident, the family moved out immediately. Coming in at number 2, we have the mirror. So this next individual moved into a house that had a very pretty but creepy antique mirror. At night, she swore she could hear whispering coming from the mirror. One night, she got out of bed to investigate. She walked down the hall and right up to the mirror. It was pitch black and she was planning to put a sheet over it. But before she could do just that, she saw something odd in the mirror reflection. She saw herself standing, but she also saw a tall, thin man standing directly behind her. She turned around, but no one was there. She decided that she was just tired and that her mind was probably playing tricks on her. But as she went to leave to go back to bed, she felt something grab her from behind and throw her into the mirror. She heard the mirror crack behind her and she got shards of glass in her hand. She ran back to her room and didn't come out till the morning. In the morning, she decided she was going to get rid of the mirror. When she went up to the mirror, she saw that it was no longer cracked. Yet she knew for a fact that it had cracked because she got shards of glass in her hand from it. Needless to say, she got rid of that mirror ASAP. Honestly, who here has seen the movie Oculus? Because that is some horror movie stuff right there. And in our number 1 spot, we have Marina City. Marina City was built between 1961 to 1968 and was meant to be a city within a city. It's a multi-use building with a bowling alley, ice rink, shopping center, and a bunch of other cool things. But the building's east tower is terribly cursed. During construction in 1961, 3 construction workers fell to their deaths from the 43rd floor. That same year, 7 men were injured due to an elevator malfunction. The next year, another worker died after falling from the 40th floor. But that's not all. Lots of other deaths have taken place there. Over the years, a number of people have taken their lives from jumping off the building. According to one worker, she was on the 40th floor when she heard a voice whisper in her ear, telling her to jump. Before she knew it, she was in a trance and making her way to a window. Thankfully, she was stopped by her coworker. The woman explained that something was coaxing her to do it. She didn't want to take her own life, but in that moment, something was forcing her to. So could all the deaths that have taken place there be a result of a ghost? Probably. Honestly, probably. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let's move quickly along to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video Top 10 Haunting Last Photos of People Part 7. John Gookie commented, "This gets better and better. Lindsay is the best, just like chocolate. Lindors, LOL." Oh man. When I was younger, I don't know why, but people would say, "Hey Lindor," just cause like Lind and Lindor. So they call me Lindor as my nickname. I didn't like it. Okay, I got bullied. Lindors are good though. The mint ones, oh my god, they're so good. Anyways, Fishface20 commented, "Please make a top 10 cartoon theories." Hello? I have done multiple cartoon theories, so just go check out our channel. You'll see plenty of them. Believe me. Go check it out. Bruh commented, "Lindsay, what was that big crawly doing on your wall? It fell down halfway through the video?" Okay. What are you talking about? Was there like a spider or something on my wall? Oh my god, I'd be mortified if there was like a bug on my wall that like fell halfway through the video. Oh, please tell me that that wasn't the case. I'm gonna have to go rewatch that video. Please someone timestamp and tag me because I need to know if there was a bug or something crawling around in the background. Please, this is important information. Please, someone find it for me. Whew. That's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see ya.